Every year, Great Place to Work and the Economic Times come together to recognize and applaud the 100 best organizations that have created and sustained high trust, high performance cultures. Often referred to as the Oscars of the workplace cultures, India's Best Companies to Work For is acknowledged as the gold standard and the most definitive recognition that organizations aspire for. This year marks the 13th year of the Economic Times and Great Place to Work partnership. Over 1,000 companies applied for the assessment this year, and only the 100 best make it to this awards evening after a rigorous assessment. We are here today to honor and celebrate the achievement of these 100 best workplaces in the country. I would now like to invite Dr. Deepika Dapke, Head of Research at Great Place to Work Institute, to share the key highlights of our research this year.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's a moment of pride and joy for all of us at Great Place to Work to share some key insights that have emerged from this year's Best Company study. Company culture has time and again proven to be a differentiator between the best workplaces and its leadership. Trust has by far been the largest and the most direct effect on company culture. This year, more than 1,000 companies had applied for this study, out of which 869 organizations across 21 industries, representing the voice of more than 21 lakh employees, became the base of evaluation to identify the top 100 companies who are being honored today. I take this opportunity to congratulate each one of you who has made to this list. The strength of your achievement is rooted in the depth of your passion, and you make us really very proud. Great Place to Work is delighted to present a personalized guide for business leaders to create and sustain a high trust, high performance culture even in the most challenging circumstances. Through a robust analytical process, we strived to identify top drivers and differentiators that lead to employee perception of a great workplace. If I have to think of the current times, the best quote that comes to my mind is this: life has many ways of testing a person's will, either by having nothing happening at all or by having everything happen at one and the same time. The past few months have been a testimony for all of us on how we have had to reprogram ourselves and quickly move forward. While the study itself began in a conventional normal times, which all of us were used to, its culmination and analysis occurred during the most unprecedented times that corporate India has ever witnessed. Therefore, in the 13th year of our study edition, it is our endeavor to delve into our study findings and cull out some pointers that would guide us towards a more fulfilling future. As we look at some of the insights emerging, fairness continues to be a cornerstone for best workplaces. Fairness has always been an essential prerequisite that influences a positive sentiment towards organizations. The three key pillars of fairness that emerged from the study are equity, impartiality, and justice. Equity in a workplace is all about treating employees fairly and considering everyone as a full member of the organization. A spirit of equity is conveyed through the balanced treatment for all people in the distribution of intangible and tangible rewards. Another important element that emerged is impartiality. While practices such as favoritism, politicking, backstabbing are prevalent in many companies, best places try to keep all of these at bay. When impartiality prevails in a company's decision making, employees have an easier time trusting their peers and going along with management's decision. The third element, justice, is experienced through a lack of discrimination based on people's personal characteristics or their presence or membership to a particular group. The opportunity to make an appeal in the face of perceived injustice and a belief in the process fairness also inculcates a sense of justice for employees. Take Adobe for example. They have worked relentlessly to achieve global pay parity, ensuring that employees in the same job and location are paid fairly, regardless of their gender and ethnicity. To ensure transparency, they have dedicated a whole page about pay parity practices on their intranet inside Adobe, including information of whom to reach to if there are some specific questions. They have also eliminated the practice of asking job candidates to provide their salary histories to prevent carrying over prior inequities. These elements of fairness continue to distinguish best workplaces from the rest. Thus, fairness goes a long way in building trust. As Robert Levering says, every interaction is an opportunity to build trust. Trust is fundamental to places to work, and fairness is a basic hygiene factor that creates the bedrock of trust. This year, we looked at our data to create a framework that would help leaders create great places to work, even in times of crisis. The whole idea was to identify factors that will positively predict a creation of a positive sentiment towards the organization. Our analysis led to the emergence of a 3C formula that can lead to the creation of great workplaces. We believe that the success of the framework is in its simplicity and dynamism. The 3Cs stand for credibility, care, and career growth. The credibility of management is reinforced when leaders' actions matches the words. Employees' perception of whether management's actions match the words is impacted by factors such as whether they feel that management is honest and ethical. Thus, we are looking at a strong sense of integrity built upon a solid foundation of reliability, ethics, and honesty. The second factor is whether management keeps promises. Every time a leader keeps a promise, implied or articulated, he or she is building trust. Employees also uphold leadership where management is perceived to be good at assigning and coordinating resources. Being a critical aspect of knowing how to get to the organizational vision and mission, this is probably a tough area and a differentiator that best organizations have been championing. Collaboration between employees and the management requires that management reaches out genuinely and responds to the suggestions and ideas shared by employees. I can ask any reasonable question and get a straight answer captures the level of approachability that management exhibits and becomes a key factor in establishing management credibility. Bajaj Finance becomes a case in point here. At Bajaj Finance Limited, management team goes to a great length to be open and transparent, offering access to information across the board. Tesco uses diverse channels of communication that are used to make sure that employees have all the necessary information at all times. At Bajaj Finance, Own My Branch is a framework designed to provide employees a face time with senior management. Barbecue Nation's Speaking Dil Se and the voice of employees are also ways of creating a sense of credibility. The next area where we move is a sense of care. Employee wellness is increasingly becoming a number one challenge and a priority for great workplaces, especially in today's time. Care depends largely on whether management shows a sincere interest in employees as a person. Leaders at best companies demonstrate care by providing safety and a healthy work environment and showing a key interest in people for who they are. In today's times, realizing challenges associated with work from home, being tuned to the emotional well-being are ways in which great places are making a different mark in the minds of employees. In fact, best workplaces are showing care for the psychological well-being of employees by providing counseling services, employee assistance programs, not just to their employees but also extending them to their family members. A focus on work-life balance and creating a culture of inclusion are important contributors to create a strong positive sentiment at best workplaces. When employees in these organizations are respected for what they bring to the table and are treated as full members, irrespective of what role they may be playing in the organization, employees feel more motivated, are more engaged, and are ready to exhibit discretionary efforts. Finally, a perception that organizations are friendly places to work creates a sense of belongingness and are differentiators between the best and the rest of the companies. Organizations which are psychologically and emotionally healthy places to work have a family or a team feeling. Their employees feel we are in this together. And when employees enjoy this feeling of togetherness, data shows that they are 4 times more likely to say that they are working in a great place. Cisco becomes a case in point here. Cisco has a huge focus for the health and emotional well being of their employees. They have an in house healthcare center called the Life Connection Center, a state of art gym, free yoga and aerobic classes, a lot of convenient on campus services. It offers its employees with an employee assistance program facilitated by trained counselors, round the year health and fitness related events such as Wellness Week, I Care, I Run, Cisco Marathon, and many more. The last piece that I would be discussing today with you is career growth. Opportunities for career growth are featured as one of the top 5 drivers of the overall perception of working at a great place. When employees are able to show clear growth and career opportunities, they are 4 times more likely to say that they are working in a great place to work. Employees' perception of positive career growth is also impacted by a belief that there is a fair performance appraisal system, better role alignment in the workplace. Ability to attract and develop talent also seems to be impacting this positive sentiment of employees. What changes post COVID? Now, post COVID, there are some aspects which probably would look different than what earlier workplaces were. Between the physical and digital battle, digital has definitely won. While the future is likely to be hybrid, digital will become a dominant medium. Some new behaviors will emerge and they will probably continue to stay. Care for personal hygiene will be of paramount importance. Social distancing in public places may continue to happen, and probably anxiety and fear about catching infections would also continue to prevail. Large cities probably would not remain as important as they were today, as employees would be able to contribute effectively from wherever they are to organizational goals. Customers may no longer demand physical contact, and technology and customer analytics probably would become even important tools for thriving businesses. Mindset changes and differences in various generations would become probably less an issue. Post COVID generations would be more open to change and would be agile when it comes to reskilling and upskilling. Stress, anxiety, and disengagement, however, may continue to stay and may impact employee behavior. To ensure employee health and productivity, organizations will therefore continue to want to focus on employee wellness. Organization may not be ready for all the kind of challenges associated with remote working. Data security, for example, would be a concern and would require some kind of sorting. In such times, we believe credibility, care, and career growth would help leaders do a few things. It would probably help them see and define what their priorities are. For example, employee health and safety may become the most important priority, followed by uninterrupted services to customers and then probably new customer acquisition. One would require to establish direct and continuous channels of communication with employees to keep them connected to organizational vision and mission, even if they are working in remote areas. Focusing on employee health, safety, and wellness would definitely be very important. Leaders may need to look at metrics for productivity and find out new parameters which could help us understand productivity and accountability. Do not lose sight for future. There is definitely a life after COVID, and we would all want to brace for that time when green shoots are once again going to be seen. Every decision finally is going to be an opportunity to build trust. Keeping the organizational core values at the center is going to be very important, and probably creating a trusting environment even more important. To conclude, leaders of great places have myriad challenges staring at them. We hope to see them use the 3C framework for creating a strong work culture that will insulate businesses from demotivation, disengagement, and create a strong sense of purpose for employees. Thank you for your attention, and once again, I would like to congratulate each one of you for your achievement. Thanks a lot and have a wonderful evening ahead.
Thank you, Dr. Dapke, for sharing the 3 C's that are critical for building and sustaining a high-trust, high-performance culture. It is a new experience for me to address an audience but not be able to see them. And I'm sure it's new for all of you as well to not be with each other on this special occasion. Many of you have been a consistent part of these annual ceremonies, and it has been a pleasure for us at Great Place to Work to interact with you and your teams. We have designed a small trivia for you to do a pulse check on how well you know Great Place to Work. Don't worry, it's not an exam and will not have an impact on your rankings tonight. Our trivia partner is TAP Consulting, an organization focused on building virtual engagement solutions for employees. They conduct very interesting digital workshops for building collaboration and also just for having fun. We will have 5 multi-choice questions that I will ask you throughout the evening, and you will have to type the correct answer in the question box that you see on the right-hand side of your screen. The first 3 right answers for every question will win a prize. You will have 30 seconds to answer the question. The answers will only come to me, so no one else will be able to see your answer. Hope you are ready for this trivia. So here's the first question on your screen. When was the world's first 100 best companies to work for ranking announced? A. 1997, B. 1999, C. 2000, D. 2001. So what do you think is the right answer? The right answer is 1997. Thank you for your active participation. We will be sharing all the 15 winners at the end of the evening. I would now like to invite Mr. Partha Sinha, President Response BCCL, to come and share a few words with us.
Hi, I, on behalf of the entire Economic Times team, want to congratulate the top 100 organizations that are being honored here today. This is no mean achievement. More than 1,000 organizations had registered for this study, and to be recognized in the top 100 amongst them deserves a lot of credit. This marks the 13th year of partnership between the Economic Times and Great Places to Work. This is possibly the largest study of this nature in the country. This is the largest study of workplace culture in India, and therefore, to be recognized among the top 100 in a definitive study like this shows the kind of great work that these companies are doing for employees and for the corporate world in general. Congratulations once again, and thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sinha. Before we honor the 100 best workplaces of 2020, we would like to make a special mention of those organizations who have been consistent in their endeavor and have featured in this prestigious list for 10 or more years. We call them the Great Place to Work laureates. One such organization is Intuit India, which was recognized among the 100 best for the 10th time in 2019. We had a privilege of interacting with Mr. Sanket Atal, Managing Director of Intuit India, to understand what really makes Intuit the organization it is today, and what does it take to sustain a workplace culture where employees aspire to work and give their best every day. Presenting to you Mr. Prasanjit Bhattacharya, CEO of Great Place to Work India, in conversation with Mr. Sanket Atal.
So, Sanket, welcome and congratulations to you, your colleagues at Intuit. 10 years of being a great place to work. Help us understand the business model of Intuit in India a little bit more, and then we'll talk about your great place to work journey.
Of course. So Intuit India is a subsidiary organization of Intuit Global, where a large amount of product development happens for Intuit's global products. As you know, the majority of the market for Intuit is the United States, but it's expanding quite rapidly internationally. And in India, the product that exists is a product called QuickBooks Online. QuickBooks Online is an accounting product, and that's been introduced in India and is getting amazing traction over here. Fundamentally, the majority of the organization in Intuit India is devoted to product development for global products.
What struck you as different about Intuit? And what do you think are the key reasons why it has been able to sustain its great place to work journey for 10 years or more? And I must tell you, 3,500 plus organizations have attempted it. This year, there are only 12 cumulatively who have actually been able to sustain the great place to work journey for 10 years or more. So what would be your observations?
When I joined, I was very skeptical, Prasanjit. I did a lot of research before joining. I asked a lot of people who were ex-Intuit to see if I could dig up some dirt, because it's important to get a decent understanding. But honestly, nobody ever said anything bad about Intuit. And then upon joining, I truly realized why. First of all, the mission. It's such an amazing mission for a company to power prosperity around the world. Now, most companies have missions, but very few companies have all the employees have a deep empathy and deep understanding of what the mission is. And the whole journey started off with what you said, the pointing out of the true north and the pointing out of the values that we live by. Now, there are words on paper that can define, your mission and your values, and then there's behavior. So one thing I'll just point out. So shortly after I joined, I went to the US. And at that time, our CEO was Brad Smith, who's now the chairman of the board. And I had my meeting set up with him. So I went to his office, and in typical corporate style, I had my laptop open, ready to present to the CEO. And he comes in, and I'm like, okay, well, Brad, let's get started. So he says, wait, Sanket, give me a hug. And that was the beginning of my journey at Intuit. He asked about my daughter's graduation. He has asked about my father's passing. So that human touch is what really makes or breaks, in my opinion, a company. And, Prasanjit, you must have heard that culture eats strategy for breakfast. So you can have the best of the minds trying to decide what a product is going to do and where and how. But unless you have a culture of delivery and a culture of true respect for the customer, it's going to be a very, very difficult proposition. Now, what we have done at Intuit, so let's talk about Intuit India specifically. When we started off here about 15 years ago, we were an unknown brand here. The product didn't really exist here. Nobody really knew what Intuit was. Unlike, of course, in the US, where we're a household name, everybody knows TurboTax and QuickBooks. So we needed to hire some fantastic people and figure out how best to attract that talent. And with that, what we thought is the most precious thing we have is our culture, a culture that respects people, a culture that's honest, and a culture that's fun-loving. Very, very important for us. So we decided that we would like to embrace it and have employees actually experience what that culture is about and what it allows you to do. And the fundamental thing that it allows you to bring your whole selves to work to do the best work of your life. What else would a professional want to do? And then we had a three-phased kind of approach to it, right? So first of all, get employees immersed in the culture, make them understand the culture, be engaged, and help power the culture that's around them. Post that, once that understanding happens, then employees become actual ambassadors of the culture. So when new people come in, they talk about it, they talk to each other, they talk with peers in the industry. And finally came what I think is the master stroke. And the master stroke is letting go. By letting go, the best people to affect a culture change, to affect a movement, are the grassroots, right? So have the employees actually take the lead, and we be servant leaders. We be there to help the employees achieve what they would like to do, but give them the empowerment to be able to think great things and actually execute on them. And that's how our entire journey was for the Great Places to Work. At one point in time, employees decided, we love where we work. Why aren't we number one? So then the question was, well, what should we do about it? So we challenged the employees, hey, why don't you take this on and see what we can do? They did. And a year later after that, Prasanjit, as you know very well, we became number one. And post that, there's also an ISB case study that's been done about their entire journey. That's in the Harvard Business Review.
So my last question to you is, on the last 55 days, I actually lost count since when we have been sitting at home. And of course, some parts like Bangalore have opened up to some extent, but probably you haven't still called your employees to come to office yet. What's been your learning as a leader? What would be some of the things that you have learned in the last 55 days, which your stint in Cornell or some of the great educational institutes that you've been to probably didn't prepare you? And what is the new normal in future? What do you see as the future of great workplaces? Is it fundamentally some things will not change, but will some things also change?
On a personal note, Prasanjit, I am a bit of a workaholic, and being at home, I think the problem is exacerbated. And so I've had to figure out ways to basically extract myself from the work situation and to have some downtime so that I'm productive. I've done something simple, like I've taken a corner. As you see, we are in a bedroom. This is my son's bedroom. My son is at Cornell. And so we have a corner here where I've set up my office. I come here to do work. When I'm not working, I'm not here. So work is here and not work is somewhere else. And that's allowed me to create the separation even within my house, and which allows me to have my downtime. And downtime is really important. What we have found is everybody is working much, much harder. Because again, everybody wants to deliver, everybody wants to do the best work of their lives. And when the best work of their lives is done within 10 to 15 feet of your bedroom, then people are more likely to get down and say, let me just put my nose to the grindstone and yet have some other deliverable be complete. So all of that is there, but it takes its toll. So I think not just our company, around the industry, people are trying to figure out how best to have that kind of a separation between work and personal life, even though you're working from home. And it's happening. People are coming up with those things. We're also encouraging a lot of employees that we are speaking with on a one-to-one basis, that even in town halls, to regularly take time off, even though you are at home and people feel that, what am I going to do? There's a lockdown, but still taking time off, having time to yourself, read a book, meditate, exercise, etc., have a regimen, that's going to allow you to have a much better experience than just nose to the grindstone. For me, it's been an amazing journey of learning that. So I now have a very set regimen that I follow, and I'm very, very happy. And I'll give you an example. Amongst the leadership team, we have a WhatsApp group which talks about personal fitness. So every day somebody posts about what they have done, and other people congratulate them, and then they talk about that. And all of that has led to actually a much fitter leadership team, which is a fantastic result in times like this where we're confined to our homes. So it's just been an amazing experience from that standpoint. Now, going forward, one of the things that we have realized, as you know, is that productivity can be amazing, even though people are working from home. So what does the future hold for us? We're trying to study that and figure out what it means. But my thought is that future is going to be hybrid. There's going to be a combination of people working from home and people working from the workplace. How exactly that's going to shape out is something that I think will emerge over time. And it also depends on the various locations we're at. India might be very different from the United States. Again, the demographics are different, etc. So we will have to see how that works out. But complete work from home is something that was unimaginable just perhaps even 7, 8 months ago, and look where we're at today. So I think the sky is the limit once you put your mind to it. So whatever the future is, I think it's going to be actually wonderful.
Thank you, Sanket, so much. It's been amazing. It's like an absolute learning opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Atal and Mr. Bhattacharya. The human touch that you spoke about and the trust you have built is truly admirable. I am sure that all of you are excited and looking forward to know which are the organizations that have made it to the 100 best in 2020. So without much further ado, let us begin with our first set of awards for the evening. Presenting to you our first awardee for tonight. Please put your hands together for Raychem RPG at rank 100. Our next awardee at rank 99 is Shrey Equipment Finance Limited. Please join me in giving them a huge round of applause. Our next winner at rank 98 is Akamai Technologies India Private Limited. Next up at rank 97 is Aadhar Housing Finance Limited. Please join me in giving them a huge round of applause. Next up at rank 96 is Indegene Private Limited. Congratulations to the team and let's give them a big round of applause. Our next awardee at rank 95 is Therumeni Finance Private Limited. Please give them a huge round of applause. At rank 94, we have Titan Company Limited. Congratulations to the entire team. Our next winner at rank 93 is Amway India Enterprises Private Limited. Next up at rank 92, we have Lifestyle International Private Limited. Congratulations to the entire team. Our next awardee at rank 91 is Control S Data Centers Limited. Please give a huge round of applause. The next award at rank 90 goes to Hygienic Research Institute Private Limited. Please give it up for our next winner at rank 89, Bharti Foundation. Congratulations to the entire team. Moving on to rank 88, we have Max Hypermarkets India Private Limited. winner at rank 87 is Parkson's Packaging Limited. Please join me in congratulating the entire team. Coming up next at rank 86, we have Arohan Financial Services Limited. Congratulations to the team. Our next awardee at rank 85 is RPG Life Sciences Limited. Let's give it up for the entire team. Moving on to rank 84, we have Ericsson India Global Services. Congratulations to the entire team. Our next awardee at rank 83 is Ultratech Limited. Please join me in giving them a huge round of applause. At rank 82, we have CESC Limited. Congratulations to the organization and a big round of applause. Moving on to rank 81, we have Gemco Limited. Congratulations and let's give it up for the entire team. Our next awardee at rank 80 is National Engineering Industries Limited. At rank 79, we have Aditya Birla Fashion and Retail Limited. Congratulations, guys. Next up at rank 78, we have Hero FinCorp Limited. Congratulations to the entire team. At rank 77, we have ADP Private Limited. Congratulations to their team and a big round of applause. Our next awardee at rank 76 is Marico Limited. Congratulations and let's give it up for the entire team. Creating a high-trust, high-performance culture is a matter of choice and not a matter of chance. Over the years, Great Place to Work Institute has had the opportunity to study organizations with an outstanding responsibility, that of leading and securing the lives of tens and thousands of Indians. To be able to recognize the impact that these organizations have had not only on their employees but also on society, Great Place to Work Institute recognizes these organizations for what they are, as mega employers. This year, we at Great Place to Work had the privilege to assess and identify 4 organizations from the mega employers as great workplaces. Having more than 50,000 employees on their rolls, these mega employers may be vulnerable to numerous complexities. However, that has not stopped them from creating consistently superlative experiences for their employees. We had the privilege to learn from Tech Mahindra, an organization that employs over 1.25 lakh employees in more than 90 countries. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mr. C.P. Gurnani, the Managing Director and CEO of Tech Mahindra, in conversation with Mr. Prasenjit Bhattacharya.
CP, thank you for your time, and it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Now, for mega employers like your organization with so many employees, I would assume that creating a great workplace is probably very challenging. So as you see organizations grow, what would be the top 2 or 3 challenges? And the reason why I'm asking you this, CP, is there are hardly 5 organizations who are certified great workplaces in this category called mega employers, and with more than 50,000 employees. And you are one of them. So why is it so difficult for large organizations to become great workplaces? What's your take?
So Prasenjit, thank you, and thank you for giving us the recognition. Thank you for realizing that being a great place to work when you are a 5,000 people company is probably a lot easier. But when you are 50,000, you still probably do manage well, but beyond 50,000, as we are 125,000 associates, present in 90 countries, 5 generations of workforce. And if there were not people like me, the average age would have been a little lower. And 100 nationalities. In large organizations, I think there are few things that I'm sure you have observed them more. But for Tech Mahindra, creating a great workplace and an engaged workforce is not a HR initiative. It is not a project manager program. It is a core business strategy. And I genuinely believe I have to live it every day. So when you talk about my driving from Delhi to Pune, what was going through my mind? That the same team had not seen me for 60 days in person. While we were able to move 93% of work home, there was 5 to 7% of people who had not even stepped out of my campuses. They were living on the premises. And I had to walk the corridor. I had to walk that shared accommodation. I had to eat with them to say I am one of them. So I'm not trying to say that I could do it for 125,000, but please remember we are a digital world. That I am spending a month in Pune, where I have majority, as you all know, that Pune and Hyderabad are 2 of my biggest centers. That I'm spending a month with my wife in Pune. Coincidental that Pune happens to be the headquarters of Tech Mahindra. It is also coincidental that yes, I do have a house here. But the fundamental fact is we live the talk. Number 2, we are an agile structure. We will simplify workflows to demonstrate and show that we are a human-centric organization, There are times when we will personalize the human experiences, and we will try and continue a high touch organization, and that I would lead it from the front. The second point, ultimately, I can't do it all over. So you have to take into account that there is a fundamental maths. Fundamental maths is that CP Gurnani can talk to 150 people. Those 150 people, if they talk to and each one of them to 150 people, then we are talking of 20,000 people, 125,000 people who are connected. That means a high touch organization continues to demonstrate high touch. The second part is the beautiful advantages of being a technology company and continuing to be technology driven. So what you call as workflow becoming automated, processes becoming automated, and we becoming a faceless organization, I think it is wrong because you are using technology to your advantage. And I'm not saying that it is easy. Trust me, in this Twitter world, we work around the world. Certain areas you have to, because if my wage bill today is 67%, that means I am running an organization which is, when I talk to Dr. Pawan Goenka in Mahindra's, he tells me his wage bill is 6%. Now,
Right.
if there will be organizations where the wage bill would be 3%. One of my closest friends runs a garment export company. He says his wage bill is less than 20%, and he says his wage bill is less than 20% because he is into highly embroidered and custom built, hand woven stuff. He said otherwise in his industry 12 to 13% is the norm. Now again, why am I throwing these statistics is that I am conscious that there is a need for me and my management team to practice what they wrote in 2018 as what we call HR Next.
Right.
HR Next was a carefully drafted and based on various feedbacks and surveys that we need to become a little more human-centric. We need to become a more better listening organization. Our leaders need to be trained to cultivate a culture of trust. Most of us go and sit in an aircraft to go and build relationship and trust with our clients. Are we doing it with our own employees who make all the difference? Because if I am not human engaged, if I am not recognizing that it is that talent which gives me the next meal or today's meal, that if I cannot demonstrate gratitude and if I cannot show fairness and equity, I'm missing out on getting a motivated workforce. So I think the problems could be 20, but the solutions are a healthy mix of transparency, communication, living the talk, and doing it together. Again, giving you examples. I have a leadership team which every Sunday would go along with our community services. All these 11 weeks, my teams have been going into villages, far-flung villages, where the government business has not reached. That means the government social charity has not reached, but my team has reached. And these people do it with a passion. We enable them. We give them the platform. But that mindset of working together, standing together, and becoming taller because we are together towards the community or towards my customers, that we not only talk about humility, we not only talk about empathy, but we practice it. And I think it is various initiatives that we took in 2018 as part of our TechM Next program has helped us win those 3 awards from you.
And we can see that in the kind of employee responses that you have. What you are saying is creating an organization for a higher purpose, creating an organization for the community and all stakeholders, not just the shareholders. And you are saying that high tech is not going to replace high touch. High tech is going to enable high touch. Now that organizations know that it doesn't matter, you can be 50,000, 100,000, 125,000, 200,000, but you can still keep the spirit of a great workplace culture alive. And you have the manual, you have shown us how it can be done. Thank you so much for your time, CP. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
It's an honor, Prasenjit, and thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gurnani, for taking time out and sharing those inspiring insights with us. It is truly remarkable to see the amazing workplace culture that your organization has created. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for the next trivia question powered by TAP Consulting. Please take the next 30 seconds to share your answers. How many employee voices were captured in our 2019 to 2020 Best Companies study? A. Over 21 lakh. B. Over 10 lakh. C. Over 16 lakh. And D. Over 27 lakh. Let's see how many of you are confident about this answer. You could let us know in the chat box below. Okay, that's a big number. The right answer is A, over 21 lakh. Thank you, and we will get back to you with the next question shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move to the next set of 25 best workplaces in the country. At rank 75, we have Clay Prep Schools and Daycare. Congratulations to the organization, and let's give them a huge round of applause. Moving on to rank 74, we have Shri Cement Limited. Please join me in congratulating the team. Our next winner at rank 73 is Happiest Minds Technologies Private Limited. At rank 72, we have Z Entertainment Enterprises Limited. Congratulations to the team. Our next awardee at rank 71 is Piramal Glass Private Limited. Moving on to rank 70, we have FedEx Express Transportation and Supply Chain Services India Private Limited. At rank 69, we have Sony Pictures Networks India Private Limited. awardee at rank 68 is Infinity Retail Limited. Congratulations to the team. At rank 67 we have HIL Limited. Congratulations, and please join me in giving them a big round of applause. Our next winner at rank 66 is Fusion Microfinance Private Limited. Moving on to rank 65, we have Pegasystems Worldwide India Private Limited. Our next winner at rank 64 is HP. Congratulations to the team. At rank 63 we have Tata Communications Limited. Congratulations, and let's give it up for the team. At rank 62 we have Whirlpool of India Limited. Congratulations, and please join me in giving them a huge round of applause. Next up, at rank 61 we have Apollo Tyres Limited. At rank 60 we have 247.ai. Congratulations, and let's give them a big round of applause. Moving on to rank 59 we have Cadence Design Systems India. Our next winner at rank 58 is Puma Sports India Private Limited. Congratulations to the team. At rank 57 we have Forbes Marshall Private Limited. Congratulations, and let's give it up for the team. Our next winner at rank 56 is Metro Cash and Carry India Private Limited. Congratulations to the team. At rank 55 we have Light Bite Foods Private Limited. Please join me in giving them a huge round of applause. Our next winner at rank 54 is Indian Oil Corporation Limited. Please give them a big round of applause. on to rank 53, we have Walmart India Private Limited. Let's give it up for the entire team. At rank 52, we have Ernst & Young. Congratulations to the team, and please join me in giving them a huge round of applause. At rank 51, we have Mahindra Holidays and Resorts India Limited. Congratulations to the team. We started our evening today with an interaction with one of the laureates. We now have the leaders from an organization that set benchmarks in the microfinance industry and inspired many organizations in the sector. This organization has created a significant positive impact both for its customers and employees. Yes, it is none other than Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. We had the honor of interacting with the founder of Ujjivan, Mr. Samit Ghosh, the current CEO, Mr. Nitin Chugh, and Ms. Carol Furtado, who leads the operation and service quality at Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. Presenting to you an excerpt from this engaging conversation.
Samit, Nitin, Carol, thank you so much for coming for this session. And I have always been curious, Nitin, what would be the top 2 or 3 reasons why you decided to join Ujjivan?
So, the biggest reason, of course, to join Ujjivan was Mr. Ghosh himself, and my first meeting with him, which inspired me to, look at professional life differently. And then during that conversation, I discovered, and of course, afterwards, there was a lot of reading that I did, and Mr. Ghosh also helped me with a lot of content, relevant content that I could go through. But the biggest thing that came out was like Ujjivan is a very purpose-driven organization, and all our people in Ujjivan are extremely passionate and committed about just the purpose for which we, have functioned for all these years as a finance company and even now as a bank. There was absolute clarity in terms of what the bank wants to do as a large retail mass market bank, catering to the aspiring middle class, serving the underserved and the unserved. And that really registered very well with me, and I could see myself associating with that.
And Samit, help us understand that story and the genesis of Ujjivan a little bit better.
Thanks, Prasanjit. Actually, Ujjivan is my second mountain. I'd worked for 30 years as a banker with some great institutions and some not so great institutions. So there were a lot of learnings from that. And then I felt that, as Nitin talked about, that I should really build an organization which is driven by a purpose, and purpose which is sort of close to my heart. That is to provide financial inclusion to the vast numbers of, people in India who are financially excluded. So that was the matter of the heart, but there was also a professional challenge that I would be able to bring in all the experience I had gained over 30 years and use that experience to, successfully launch Ujjivan, especially from the perspective of technology, because there was always, people always said we could not serve the people who are poor because it was not a viable proposition. And I wanted to prove that it could be done in a viable manner. But along with that, when we built Ujjivan, we felt that we should take in all what is the positive things which we have from various organizations and discard the negative. And one of the positive things which I was felt strongly about is that Ujjivan should be serve multiple stakeholders, not just one stakeholder, which is a shareholder, but multiple stakeholders in which obviously the customer is very important, the employees are very important, the shareholders are obviously very important, the community you work in is very important, the regulators are very important. So that we should be the best for all of them, And having worked so many years in various institutions, a lot of people pay lip service to being a good organization for the people, but they are not. When you come down to the core, you don't find that they're that genuine, So, in the sense that we firmly believe that the employees are as important a stakeholder to us as a customer or a shareholder, So that and in your entire policy, culture, everything you build around an organization, then you work on that basis. So that was very important for us. But we had a challenge at that time is that, when we started in 2005, there were a lot of startups, a lot of IT companies, and, very difficult to get hold of good HR people, So we then said, why don't we sort of try and benchmark ourselves against the best in the industry, And that's how we sort of got into Great Place to Work. It was more to learn and not to be, we never dreamt that we would be one of the top institutions in a Great Place to Work. It was more to learn from other institutions which were a great place to work. And also, the Great Place to Work has a matrix, it has a discipline. So you actually measure yourself against that discipline. So it's not just a matter of sort of saying that, we will be a great place to work, etc., and culture, etc., which are very important. But the matrix which is there and which you look at it year on year and you monitor yourself on that was also very, very important for us,
And the question that I wanted to ask you, Carol, is that through the last decade or more, microfinance has gone through ups and downs. And we know how difficult things could be. And I remember at least 2 or 3 instances when many organizations were close to probably either closing down or being acquired. What were those challenging moments? And if you look at your 10-year plus journey as a great place to work, were there any turning points where things became very difficult? And what did you do in those turning points? And are there any lessons?
Some of the things that we do as an organization is that we treat our people with respect. We involve our people in all that we do. And we treat them as equals. Now, some of the defining moments where these came into play was first during our microfinance crisis in 2010-11. That was a time where there was a lot of happenings in the industry, and there was a lot of things that was going around about microfinance. But we stayed put. There were clear directions, instructions given to us, and that is what we followed. Those were very simple. First is to take care of our employees, and the simple task that we did there is to ensure that our staff salaries were paid on time. Secondly, we ensured that our repayments to the financial institutions and banks were paid on time. The most important thing that we also did was ensure that our customers would be given loans on a timely basis. And we also ensured that our repayments to landlords and their rentals were also paid. That was one clear thing that we did. The second was a very clear communication right from the top. Mr. Ghosh sent out a personal letter to all employees across the organization, giving them a very clear understanding of the situation that we are in and our roadmap.
But Samit, question that I want to ask you before moving to Nitin. What was the challenge that you were facing in that transition from microfinance company to a full-fledged bank?
The biggest challenge was really that we believed that our customers who are microfinance customers who were not did not have access to financial services earlier and who were not treated well when they went to a regular bank would continue to be our customers, in the bank itself, and they would be treated just like any other customer. In fact, even better because they have been with us for so many years, So to carry our customers and not create a two-tier kind of banking system where, now we will sort of, since we have become a bank, we'll focus more on the affluent and middle class because that's where the bucks are, and forget all the microfinance customers, and we'll treat them, continue to treat them, but in a somewhat separate manner, So to create a two-tier system, we were dead against that, and that we would treat all our customers the same way, So that's a big challenge, And there was a lot of debate, and branches will get overcrowded, and people won't like it. All kinds of tamasha. And similarly, what Carol said, all our staff who came from microfinance, a bulk of them were actually class 10, 12, and suddenly they become bankers, they said, oh my God, we have to sit for an exam and pass an exam to become a banker, etc. We said, no, nothing, we will take you through training. You will have to make an effort to upgrade your, skills, and you are a banker, So that I think that is a tremendous challenge to take that team, and bring them up. And of course, at that same time, we were recruiting a lot of professional bankers because those skills which we didn't have within the organization. And how do you sort of put them together?
The last question very quickly to all three of you. The last 10 years, and for you, Nitin, your career even before Ujjivan, what would be the top 2 or 3 leadership lessons?
So, from my perspective, I think, as I was mentioning, this was my second mountain. And I think it's very important for every individual or every leader to find out what is their calling, what really, what makes their heart, get warm and, fuzzy and, they feel good. So I think to get, to merge your calling with your career at some stage in life is very, very important.
Thank you, Samit. Carol, you would like to summarize your key leadership take?
One of the biggest leadership lessons that I have learned is to have a long-term perspective. That is, there will be a lot of ups and downs that comes along the way, but we should have a very clear understanding of the roadmap, and that also translates into involving people, communicating to people, listening to our employees, and giving them the chance to voice out their opinions so that there is a wholesomeness to it, and we are able to take the organization forward in our journey.
Nitin, the last 50 days have challenged our leadership paradigms and mindsets like nothing before in the 5 decades or so. So, what would be those 1 or 2 leadership learning that you would like to share with us as we end this conversation?
See, I think a time like this can neither bring out the best or it can bring out the worst. Okay, we are seeing that happen all across. But staying on course with your what the leader itself is or herself or himself or herself is inspired with, I think that helps. So if the inspiration levels or the reason for the leader to stay inspired change, with the changing context, leadership styles will change. Okay, that should not ever happen. Now, when that is very clear, the next level for any leader is to be able to inspire teams, because leaders can't be seen as either backseat drivers or front seat drivers all the time. Sometimes you're front seat driving, sometimes you're backseat driving, but most of the time you're not even driving yourself. But you need to inspire people to drive on their own. So I am a strong believer in inspirational leadership rather than any other form of leadership.
I think the quality of conversation was just great, as is to be only expected. So Samit, Carol, Nitin, all 3 of you, thank you so much.
Our sincere thanks to all of you for sharing your experiences and the fascinating journey of creating Ujjivan as an organization that would be the best for its stakeholders, truly demonstrating the spirit of for all. By now, all of you would know it's time to roll your sleeves up for the 3rd trivia question powered by TAP Consulting. So are you ready? Which Great Place to Work tool helps the CEOs to be able to track the real-time check between the culture and the business? A. CEO Culture Dashboard, B. Executive Dashboard, C. Culture Dashboard, and D. Management Dashboard. Let's now see the right answer for this. The right answer is CEO Culture Dashboard. Thank you once again for your active participation. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move to the 50 best companies to work for in the country. At rank 50 we have Yash Technologies Private Limited. Please join me in congratulating the entire team. Moving on to rank 49 we have John Deere Technology Center. Please put your hands together for the team. Our next winner at rank 48 is Altimetric India Private Limited. At rank 47 we have NTPC Limited. Congratulations to the team and let's give a big round of applause. Our next winner at rank 46 is DHL Supply Chain India Private Limited. Congratulations to the team. Our next winner at rank 45 is SC Johnson Products Private Limited. Please put your hands together for the team. At rank 44 we have Kronos Inc. Please join me in congratulating the organization. Our next awardee at rank 43 is Brigade Enterprises Limited. Please put your hands together for the team. At rank 42 we have InMobi Technology Services Private Limited. Congratulations to the team. Our next winner at rank 41 is Your Technologies Private Limited. Please give a big round of applause. Next up at rank 40 we have TransUnion Global Technology Center. Congratulations and let's give a big round of applause. At rank 39 we have GE India Industrial Private Limited. Please put your hands together for the team. At rank 38 we have Cushman and Wakefield. Please join me in giving them a big round of applause. Our next winner at rank 37 is PayPal India Private Limited. Please join me in congratulating the organization. Our next awardee at rank 36 is DHL Logistics Private Limited. Congratulations to the team. At rank 35 we have SEAT Limited. Congratulations and please join me in giving them a huge round of applause. Moving on to rank 34 we have Blue Dart Express Limited. Congratulations to the team. Our next winner at rank 33 is Salesforce.com. Please join me in congratulating the organization. Next up at rank 32 we have Highkill Limited. Please put your hands together for the team. At rank 31 we have Bharat Financial Inclusion Limited. Congratulations and let's give a big round of applause. Our next awardee at rank 30 is Aspire Systems India Private Limited. A very big congratulations to the entire team. At rank 29 we have Godfrey Phillips India Limited. Congratulations and let's give a big round of applause. Next up at rank 28 we have ESDS Software Solution Private Limited. At rank 27 we have Synchrony International Services Private Limited. Our next winner at rank 26 is Ericsson India Private Limited. A very big congratulations to the team. It's now time for the fourth trivia question powered by TAP Consulting. Request each one of you to share your answers. Which Great Place to Work Forum is the think tank for CXOs of best companies to come together and learn from each other? A. The CEO Club. B. Best Employers Union. C. One CEO Club. D. Best Employers Club. I'm hoping that most of you will get this right. The right answer is Best Employers Club. Thank you everyone, and we will get back to you with our last question shortly. We now have two more segments of awards to be announced. The laureates of this year and the 25 best companies to work for in India. These awards are even more special this year as thousands of organizations look up to the best workplaces across countries to navigate through the challenging times we are going through. To join us for this special segment, we have the pleasure of inviting our global CEO, Mr. Michael Bush from the United States of America, to share with us his experience of interacting with hundreds of global leaders of best workplaces. Good morning, Michael, and welcome to this special occasion as we honor and felicitate the 100 best companies to work for in India. I would also like to invite Mr. Prasanjit Bhattacharya to take this conversation forward with Michael. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome them with a huge round of applause.
Michael, thank you so much for being with us here today. Today is a special day. The best of the best workplaces in India are gathered. Their CEOs and chief people officers and CXOs are here today to celebrate in the midst of a very extraordinary situation. And for a change, we can't say this is India or this is US. It is global. How has the last 60 or 75 odd days been for you, Michael? It must be something really new, even by the global benchmarks of Great Place to Work. But over to you, Michael. What are your opening thoughts?
Thank you, Prasanjit, and I'm honored to be here to be a part of this amazing celebration. And first, I want to congratulate the 75 companies that have been recognized already as best workplaces in India. When you're a best workplace, as you are in India, it makes you one of the best workplaces in the world. India is a very competitive market. So congratulations on what you've done. And I know there's 25 more companies that are going to find out some very exciting news. So I just want to congratulate those companies in advance. As you know, Prasanjit, we do work in 98 countries around the world. We survey over 10,000 companies every year. We know a lot about working people. We survey over 10 million people a year. And at no time in the history of Great Place to Work have we experienced something where working people around the world are experiencing the same thing, which is the virus. So now we have people who are worried about their physical health. their mental health, and their emotional health and their financial well-being all at the same time. In this very destructive way, the world is unified, having this fear in the workplace that people are trying to manage, live with, and work as well in a very different way. And then, if that's not enough, we have cases of racism, which are, and separatism, things that are dividing us at this time. I'm doing this video from the US where our tension is at its peak. We probably haven't had this kind of tension in the US in 50 years, where racism is at its peak, where for whatever reason, there's a group of people who feel they are superior and different than another group of people, even though we're all human beings. So this feeling that some humans have, this need of being better than other people because of what they physically look like, or perhaps what they believe in, still plagues our society around the world. So you put these two viruses together, one is 7 months old, the other one is 400 years old in the US, this racism, you put them together, it's created an extraordinary situation that I believe when you put them together in this way, it's made them both far more intense, but yet it creates great opportunity for us going forward.
I think in a sense, some of these dichotomies and dilemmas have been highlighted like never before. In India, we had the scenes of millions of people who are migrant workers in our big cities, literally walking back hundreds and hundreds of miles back to their cities during the lockdown, and with very limited food and water. And in a way, it has highlighted the contrasts that is very disturbing. And we have always said that if, for example, in US, the top 1% has as much wealth as the bottom 80%. In India, that figure would be maybe around 77%, or in terms of the wealth that the top 10% Indians have. So is the model itself wrong, or what do you see happening here? Why is it that when we are creating wealth in organizations and the people have so much influence, we are not able to create a society which is a society for all?
Well, as you know, Prasenjit, we believe in creating places that are just like the room that you're sitting in right now, which is a room full of people who believe in a great place to work for all. A room full of people that believe that we respect everyone. And no matter who they are or what they do in an organization, they should be respected and they should be cared for, not just for what they do at work, but they should be cared for as a person. And this, unfortunately, is an aspiration that is higher than what people experience in society. So the great thing about being a great place to work for all, like the people who are in the room during this celebration, is that we have the opportunity to create an experience for working people that is actually, unfortunately, better than maybe what they experience in society. And when we say great place to work for all, we not only mean our employees, we actually care about the companies that supply our business and their employees. We care about all people, because being a great place to work for all, to really care about people, you can't just care about some people. You have to care about all people. And we just believe that if you do that, it's better for your business. The data proves that. Our companies outperform those who don't believe in this way of leading. It's obviously better for the people, and we believe that's better for the world. So through business being a force for good, we're able to create things that society and politics have been unable to produce.
And it's fascinating because all the companies which are there today and who are the top 100 best companies, over 90% of their employees say I'm treated fairly regardless of my religion, my caste, my color, sexual orientation, or anything else that you can think of. So in a sense, we know how to do that. We have been doing it in the best workplaces, and therefore there's an ideal which is not a theoretical ideal, it is a practical reality which exists. Moving on to the current context of the pandemic and the impact that it has had on almost all industries, this is something that probably nobody ever expected. Yet, the best workplaces and their leaders are dealing with it in a qualitatively different way. You have been personally interacting with the CEOs of some of the best organizations. What is so different about the way these leaders are going about this particular crisis? And is there something that we can learn from them?
I think what we can learn is what many leaders who are with you this evening, that are with you today, have actually done, which is you have to put people first. That if you have a situation of someone working from home, they're going to be working from home. It's going to be harder to work from home because there are children and family members and other distractions. You have to be aware that that's going to be different and think about how you can help make that the best situation you can for that person. You can't do everything, but there are things that you can do. If you do a spreadsheet analysis first of the financial ramifications of one decision or another, the caring and that feeling is going to be much weaker. So companies that decide we're going to put our people first and we're going to think about them and realize they are worried about their family members, they are worried about their society, they are worried about their community, and they're worried about their physical health, and you start making decisions based on that first, you're going to do much better. And companies who have done that, many of whom are being celebrated in the 100 best listing, are doing much better than those who haven't been doing that. We have been contacted all around the world from companies that are reaching out to us at Great Place to Work and saying, I don't have much trust in our workforce and I don't really trust my people, but how do I create trust now? And all we say to them is, it's too late. It's very hard to create trust when people are working and sheltering in place if you didn't have trust in the first place. So companies who have always believed in putting their people first are doing much better now, and they're going to do much better in the weeks to come. They're going to financially get back to doing business in an environment with more growth compared to companies that did not have the trust in the first place. So as we know, putting people first pays off, and it's really going to pay off for companies now and in the months to come.
You know, this is something we have been hearing from so many of the best workplaces, many of whose leaders are here today with us. And one of the things which I heard, and I was frankly amazed, is that even though none of them were prepared to have 100% of their employees or very large percentage work from home, they actually reported increase in productivity. You know, it's not that they had systems and processes to monitor and review what an employee was doing every minute, but somehow the trust that was already there in the relationships between the management and employees got reciprocated, and they could, in a sense, encash it in a crisis like this where employees voluntarily are giving far more than they need to. And is that a common experience that you see elsewhere as well?
It is a common experience. One of the most fascinating things that we've been able to watch is companies who have been doing brainstorming about the future of work. And there's one company that runs call centers all around the world that's a customer of ours, a very, very, very large company. And they have been doing future of the work studies. And one of the things that they were imagining is in 2030 or 2035, having distributed call centers, which is people not going to one place in one building and being able to be providing call center services from anywhere. And they felt that would happen in 20 or 30 years. Well, it's happening now. The unimaginable has happened now, and in 3 to 4 weeks, many of them have made that transition. So 2 months ago, it was 3 months ago, unthinkable. Now, not only have they made the transition, but their productivity has increased, just exactly like you've mentioned. So for many companies, as they envision the future has already come to them. And they've proven, if they are great places to work, that they can quickly make the adaptation, that their people are much more agile because they trust the people that they work for and they trust the people that they work with. And therefore they make the adjustment and they get to work and they deliver great work for their teammates and great work for their customers.
And I think one thing that probably does not change but become even more important is the level of trust that you have with your people and your stakeholders. What is a great place to work in future? And are things going to be very different when you have a lot of people doing remote working, for example, and where digital clearly is going to have an edge over physical in many interactions? So it's very early to take any puns, but what's your take on the future?
My take on the future is that trust is going to become even more important because we are going to be working in distributed ways where you can't watch what people are doing, and there's going to be much more of a reliance on digital, on machines, and people, and that combination of the three. And it's going to be 24/7, and people are working in distributed ways. And the pace of change things will never be as slow as they are today. That's just going to increase, which means businesses, machines are going to provide information to them. The business is going to have to change right now. And if people trust you, they will change right now. And they will put themselves 100% into the work to make sure that there's a great outcome for the customers. So trust is going to become more important than in any other time. And being a great place to work for all is going to become more important than any other time, because the innovation that we've experienced, which is probably more than in the last decade, we've experienced in the past 3 months. The rate of innovation, it's amazing what companies are doing now and how they are doing things and how they are thinking about the future. Well, that innovation speed is not going to slow down. Companies aren't going to want to become less innovative and slower. They're going to want to move even faster. Well, diversity is going to drive that innovation. So it's the digital transformation plus new ideas and experiences and making sure we're listening to everyone and involving everyone in the work and making everyone feel like they matter. Companies that can put that puzzle together are going to outperform those that don't.
You know, this is interesting. Just today morning, somebody talked about how high tech is going to help in high touch, and it's not replacing high touch. And the fact that we no longer have Gen Z and millennials and Gen Y. We are all the Corona generation now, and we don't have to spend lots of money on expensive consultants doing change management. People are far more open to change. And in a sense, I think the COVID-19 virus, in a perverse way, has actually done something that would have normally taken us maybe 5 to 10 years. The pace of change, etc., that you were talking about. And I think probably going forward, we will have to look at involving a lot more people than we have in the past, and that diversity of thinking and inclusion is going to be a key. But there's also going to be probably a lot of people who may or may not be able to handle the pace and the stress, and therefore related to that, wellness is going to become very critical. What are your views, Michael?
Yep. If we care for a person, we have to care for the whole person. So we have to care about a person's physical well-being. We have to care about a person's emotional well-being. We have to care about a person's psychological well-being. And we have to care about a person's financial well-being. We have to care about all these things, or you're not really caring about the person, you're caring about the employee. So this is we've already begun this. COVID forced that. It forced that. So we've been disrupted and have been forced to realize that we're all the same. We all care about our parents as they age. We all care about our children. We all care about our families. We all care about our neighbors. We're the same. And you can't expect people to come to work and forget those things. People need to be able to work knowing you have the same kinds of concerns and you're open and flexible in finding ways for them to succeed in their life. So that has already been disrupted. The other thing is that as COVID has disrupted the way we view each other, because it's reminded us that we are the exact same. If we look at the racism that the US has experienced over the past, and then you look in Berlin, Germany, where 500,000 people younger than age 35 marched to the streets protesting the racism they saw in the US. They weren't talking about the racism in Berlin, Germany. And by the way, this is Berlin, Germany. Think about that. These people went into the streets and said, that's wrong. That is wrong. It's happening very far from us, but that is simply wrong. Their parents wouldn't have done that. This is a new generation that is no longer interested in fixing the world in 25 years. They want to change the world now. And the way that we relate to each other, they want to make that change now. And they're going to make that change now. I'm very inspired by seeing that world response to racism. And people just saying, you can't pretend that we believe in fairness and equality and respect if we sit idly by watching people getting treated very poorly just basically because of the color of their skin or maybe what they believe in. So this shift has occurred. We can't go back in time. I believe this shift is very positive, and companies who understand that and who realize that just profit and just cash flow and just market share, a lot of people aren't going to want to work for an organization that's just doing those things because the problems in society are too great. People want to work for organizations who are doing those things and are caring about them, and together they're looking to improve society.
I think that's a very strong message that you leave the audience with. And in India, for example, in the last 75 days, there's a whole generation that actually got used to breathing fresh air. It's as simple as that, because they have never had the opportunity to breathe air which is not polluted. And I think it's going to be very, very difficult for people to stop this generation from expecting that their leaders, political or corporate leaders, stand for what is right and not just the top line and the bottom line. And I think that's a very strong message to the audience here. Your last few comments before we open up the discussion for Q&A. Michael?
My last few comments, Prasenjit, are number one, to congratulate the remarkable companies who are with us that we're honoring. Being a great place to work for all is not easy. There's an easier way to do business, but this gives our life meaning. It changes us and will continue to change us as the world changes. And in that way, our businesses are going to outperform those who don't do this. So I just want to celebrate what you're doing and inspire you to continue, because not only is it good for your company, but other companies are wanting to be your company. They want to be on the list of 100, and that is good for society.
Thank you so much. And with this, we will have question and answers for Michael. Michael, thank you again for joining us all the way from US.
Thank you, Prasenjit. It was lovely. Now we have opened for questions. I see questions already coming in. In fact, a whole flurry of questions. So let me start with the first one. The question is, how do you see the rules of engagement change in the post-COVID world?
I think I'll let Michael take that question. But before, Michael, you answer, I must sincerely apologize. And one of the ways that rules of engagement is changing in post-COVID is nothing is going to be predictable anymore. We had three times we practiced this entire event. And if you know, we had 3 backup plans, and we never predicted that YouTube platform, which is a global platform, is not going to work when we started. And we were back on track, and that is post-COVID, that you never know when a black swan event is going to strike you. So my sincere apologies to all of you who lost some time in the beginning of this program. Michael, would you like to take a shot at that question?
Yes, Prasenjit, and hello, everyone. I think that the world is full of more uncertainty now, as we've been talking about. But one of the things that great companies do, like all the companies that all of you are a part of, the companies that make our list, is they care for their employees more than other companies do. So we do business with a lot of companies that are certified great places to work, and they care about their employees. But the companies that make our list care the most. And as we go forward, those companies are going to win, because we have employees worried about their physical health, their mental health, their financial health, their societal pressures. The pressures on people are almost at their maximum right now. And this is true all around the world, that this phenomenon has occurred. So organizations who are asking questions of their employees about how they are doing physically, how they are doing emotionally, how they are doing financially, and really are concerned about the total well-being of the individual and measure it so that they can put policies, benefits, different leadership behaviors to see whether or not things are getting better for those employees. Those companies are going to outperform financially, and in every other way, companies that don't.
A lot of people are talking about high tech, and I think what we see amongst the best workplaces is high tech is being used for high touch. And therefore, as more and more employees move into a remote working mode, not just work from home, but remote working. Why work from home in New York if you can work from home in Mumbai or Pune? And organizations will have to find out how technology can support a personal touch with employees.
Thank you, Michael and Prasenjit. Next one up here is what leadership qualities will be required in the next decade to build great companies? What is your take?
I think there have always been a list of behaviors that we've always measured at Great Place to Work. We know the kinds of behaviors that leaders need to make sure they are exhibiting and that their employees are experiencing. But we can now say we are certain about what are the most important behaviors.
Sure.
The most important behavior is a leader's ability to listen. That is the number one behavior. And they have to be able to listen in multiple ways. They have to be able to listen to the data, to survey data. That's one way of listening. It's a quantitative way of listening, and they need to be doing that. They can't just use their intuition. They also have to be able to listen in conversations with their people. They need to be able to have a conversation where their people feel safe and are able to share new ideas to innovate in the business, as well as maybe some things where they could use some help personally, or some ideas on how they can help teammates. But again, it's listening. And at the bottom of both, the foundation of why listening is important is so that a leader can learn. That's why the leader needs to listen. And if a leader doesn't have an open mind, they can't learn. You can't put anything in the brain if the brain isn't open. So leaders have to approach work and their people and business in general with an open mind, learning about competitors, learning about the market, learning about their employees, being able to abandon some beliefs that they had and get new beliefs in some cases based on what they've learned from the data and from talking to people, and then do a plan of action and make some changes. So out of the 9 leadership behaviors that we've talked about for years at Great Place to Work, celebrating people, thanking people, recognizing people, rewarding people, we know the most important one, and that's listening.
Thank you. I think that's very relevant, I think, in the current times. There's an interesting question that has come up where this gentleman is asking that how do you foster innovation in a work from home situation for majority of the employees?
Well, the answer is in front of you. I think the amount of innovation that has happened in the last 3 months has never happened ever before. And somebody sent me a cartoon that said, who is the biggest driver of innovation in your organization? Is it the CEO or the chief technical officer, or is it COVID-19? We used to think that there were generations like millennials and Gen Z and Gen Y, not anymore. And even my 78-year-old mother is asking me, how should I download the app from the bank so that I can do some transactions? So you see the kind of mindsets that have changed vis-a-vis customers, vis-a-vis speed, agility, collaboration, and people are finding new ways of doing that. Look at the way in which we are doing this conversation and the awards. 3 months back, we would have never ever visualized that the Great Place to Work Awards would actually happen with 70 people sitting at home and coming together to make it happen. Michael, is that your experience?
That's my experience. Most companies feel that they have moved forward in time about 5 years, that they are currently doing business, making decisions, involving employees, which is the key to innovation. Innovation comes from having thousands of ideas. The more ideas, the better. And people are using the technology like we're doing right now to get information, just like everyone is listening, is able to do that. We have call centers that have been completely decentralized, an idea that people didn't think it was possible. But around the world, these things are occurring. So most companies feel like they had a future of work was a huge topic. There hasn't been that much talk about it because we're already doing the future of work. What we thought a year ago was going to be the future of work in 5 or 10 years. We have leapt forward. And I think, just like you mentioned, Prasenjit, that speed is going to continue. We're not going to slow down now. We're going to speed up now, in fact.
And therefore, unlearning is going to become even more important than ever before. The childlike curiosity that you talked about a little while back.
Yeah. I think since we got slightly delayed with the technical snag, what we do is probably take one last question and then move on with the next set of awards. So the question is, what do both of you see as the single biggest challenge companies will face post-COVID? And this is another CEO who's asking that question.
Yeah. Prasenjit, why don't you go first?
Oh, yes. I think the biggest challenge to my mind is you have to do a whole lot of things, right from rationalization to cost cutting to introducing new products. How do you do it so that every action that you take, whether it is something which is perceived to be really positive, or is it's something that you have to take because that's your current situation. How do you use every action as an opportunity to build trust? We have always believed that it is how you do things rather than what you do that creates a great workplace. Michael?
I will just build on that excellent point in complete agreement that people have now established a new level of trust with their employees. Even leaders who didn't fully trust their employees have learned over the past few months that they can trust their employees, and perhaps they should have trusted their employees at the beginning. So what leaders have to avoid going forward is going back in time. Don't go back in time. What leaders, we always talk about get out of the box. Well, the box was broken with COVID. We all jumped out of the box. We need to stay out of the box. We need to continue to innovate and think of in completely different ways of doing business. But no matter what, you're going to do better if you have trust in your organization. If your employees trust you, they feel respected and all the things that we measure, and that you trust your employees. Companies that do that and are expressing care are going to outperform those that don't.
And one of the things we realize that it is not enough to leave things to government, to political representatives, to outsiders, and say that I'm only concerned about what happens within my organization. That's not going to work. That's not even going to be acceptable to the younger generation. Organizations must make a difference to society, a positive difference to society, what we call as creating a great place to work for all. And our vision is that the CEOs and the leaders and employees who are watching this today will take a pledge that will make India a great place to work for all.
Thank you, both of you. Thank you, Michael, for starting your day with us. So we'll end the Q&A here and move on to the awards. Over to you, Mamta, for the next set of awards.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael, for starting your day with us and sharing those meaningful insights. We have 4 organizations that joined the elite list of laureates this year and are being featured in the 100 best for the 10th year in 2020. Join me in congratulating these amazing organizations. I'll be announcing the names in alphabetical order. The first laureate is Adobe Inc. The second to join the league is Blue Dart Express Limited. Next up is Indian Oil Corporation Limited. The fourth laureate for this year is Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. Once again, a very big congratulations to the 4 organizations. Now, moving on to the 5th and the last trivia question powered by TAP Consulting. What pops up in your mailbox daily to give you an insight from a certified great workplace? A. Culture stories. B. Culture news. C. Culture in shorts, and D. Daily culture stories. This one again should be very easy for us since it is something that we get in our inbox every single day. The right answer is Culture in Shorts. Thank you everyone for participating in this trivia powered by TAP Consulting. We will be announcing all the 15 winners shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, we now move to the 25 best companies to work for in the country. At rank 25, we have Mahindra & Mahindra Financial Services Limited. A very big congratulations to the team.
Last 60 days have been quite a delight. From accepting the new normal like online team reviews to being a chef at home making lunch for the entire family, it has been quite a learning experience.
My company is constantly taking care of my learning needs in such a crisis, and from home itself I am applying for various online courses to enhance my knowledge.
My organization and my manager have given me enough support and guidance. Now staying at home, I connect customers and do collection and business digitally.
Like a close-knit family, we are doing virtual celebration.
Care and camaraderie are two non-negotiable of our culture.
We are agile, embracing the new normal after COVID.
Our MD sir has also connected with us via various webinars and webcasts.
We will overcome, together and tougher.
Our next winner at rank 24 is Max Life Insurance. Please give them a big round of applause.
Hi everyone, I am proud to be a part of Max Life and happy to know that we have been featured amongst India's best company to work for again. Best part about working with Max Life is the work culture that you are being supported and recognizing by the management. In the current scenario where we are all locked down and facing a difficult situation and we are all working from home, make it a new normal. Management has arranged day-to-day training on product, soft skill and objection handling, which helps us tackle in this situation and convince client to buy our products. One word that's come to my mind when I think of Max Life is I am the difference. Thank you.
The culture of meritocracy. Not only outcomes, but best efforts are celebrated here. Max Life declared work from home even before the government declared lockdown. The processes and rhythms were set to ensure that the ball does not drop. Max Life is a very caring organization and constantly invests in its people. Two words that come to my mind when I think of Max Life are caring and agile.
The heart of Max Life lies in its people, which makes it a great place to work. I have seen personally how Max Life has given wings to my creativity and has made me achieve remarkable things. Even in these COVID situation, I feel so much loved, so much cared and connected with my company. Every week, I remember our leaders were live on workplace just to tell us to stay safe and stay home. Thank you, Max Life.
At rank 23 we have Hardcastle Restaurants Private Limited. Please put your hands together for the team.
फिर से सड़कों पे सब नाचेंगे, पटरी पे पहिए भागेंगे, गूंजेंगे खेलों के मैदान, बांटेंगे हम खुशियां, गम भी हम मिलकर बांटेंगे, फिर से होगी सपनों की उड़ान, जो साथ देते सारा इंडिया, फिर मुस्कुराएगा इंडिया, फिर जीत जाएगा इंडिया.
I'm Rahul. I'm ready to work at Batch Burger to weave golden standard burger to every customer and loving it.
I am Jagruti and I am loving it.
Our next winner at rank 22 is Atria Convergence Technologies Limited. Congratulations to the team. Our next winner at rank 21 is Tech Mahindra. Please give them a huge round of applause.
I love to be Techim because one's voice is heard and there is immense support from the leadership and everyone across, professionally and personally.
The best part of working in Techim is that our work not only drives organizational growth, but actually lets us find meaning when we empower others to rise.
Did anyone ever thought remotely working from home would be possible in the BPO sector? Not really. However, thanks to Tech Mahindra for their immense support. It's indeed an amazing opportunity and a great place to work at.
A huge focus on associates having a customer-like experience with initiatives like facial recognition, UVO chatbot, and K2, our first humanoid.
Tech Mahindra is not just a workplace. It is one big family, and I'm proud to be a part of that family.
Hi. Great Place to Work is all about people, process, and the ecosystem. I'm happy to be a Tech Mighty as it gives me an environment to address customer and associate priorities.
I have completed 10 years with Tech Mahindra. People often confuse it with comfort, but I synonymize it with challenge, growth, and career-defining opportunities.
At rank 20 we have Mahindra & Mahindra Automotive and Farm Equipment sectors. Congratulations to the team.
One of the very senior leaders of India, he asked me, how do you find it working with Mahindra? I told him, I feel like I'm working for my country.
The 25 years that I spent in Mahindra, there were 2 or 3 times when I had the entrepreneurial bug that bit me. Every time I thought of taking that leap, the organization gave me those kind of opportunities internally to become more like an entrepreneur than an entrepreneur.
Driver, in my view, has been the context of an organization which has a very deep-rooted sense of purpose.
Typically what I like about Mahindra is adherence to core values, transparency, ethics, and of course, RISE is something which motivates me a lot.
I think it's a very, very powerful theme which kind of inspires us all to wake up every day to drive value in the lives of farmers and thus create impact at a large social level for the country.
The kind of culture that we have, kind of support that we have, kind of empowerment that we have is something which you will never get even you go to any industry outside. This is something unique to us. That is why we are what we are.
Our next winner at rank 19 is Mahindra Rural Housing Finance Limited. Please put your hands together for the team.
Today is a perfect day to break the bonds of gravity. Break the bonds defines of gravity. Unzip your mind and set it free. Be everything you want to be. Everything you want to be. Today is just a perfect day to rise, 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 rise. Wake up and rise, rise, rise. A perfect day to rise, rise, rise.
At rank 18 we have Novak Technology Solutions Private Limited. A very big congratulations to the team.
A company with both process and people orientation is definitely the need of the hour, and Novak goes an extra mile to achieve this.
I think one of the main factors that make working at Novak fun is because of the friendly people. Everyone here is easy and outgoing.
We are a kind of a family that goes out after work, play badminton, dance, and much more. Whatever we like, we can do here. We love Novak.
You can get along with anyone here regardless of the team division, and that is one of the biggest factors to the company's growth.
It's really easy to mingle around with people, get to know them, and Novak always encourages the personal development of the employees. That's why I like to work in Novak.
Novak has always been a people-first organization, and we have strived to continue same during the pandemic crisis. We have foreseen the situation and ensured our employees reach their hometown safely. We also taken steps for business continuity and was able to shift to work from home model quickly.
At Novak, every day is an opportunity to learn something new. This motivating culture makes us a great place to enjoy work.
It's not just the employee engagement, but also the joy of working for an organization that cares for its people and empowers them as well.
Our next winner at rank 17 is Indus Towers Limited. Please join me in giving them a huge round of applause.
নমস্কার, আমি সুব্রত গিরি, কলকাতা হাউস ক্লাস্টারের একজন এফএসসি। এই কোভিড-19 জন্য এখন একটা ভয়াবহ পরিস্থিতি তৈরি হয়েছে। এই ভয়াবহ পরিস্থিতিতে যখন সবার জন্য ওয়ার্ক ফ্রম হোম চালু হয়েছে, তখন আমরা ফিল্ড টিম অনবরত কাজ করে চলেছি আপনাদের পরিষেবা দেওয়ার জন্যে। আমাকে এবং আমার টিমকে কোম্পানির তরফ থেকে মোটিভেটেড করা হয়েছে এই কঠিন পরিস্থিতিতে কাজ করার জন্যে। কোম্পানিও আমাদের সুরক্ষার জন্য N95 মাস্ক, হ্যান্ড স্যানিটাইজার এবং প্রয়োজনে গাড়িও প্রোভাইড করছেন সাইডে গিয়ে কাজ করবার জন্য। আপনারা বাড়িতে থাকুন, সুস্থ থাকুন, যাতে করে এই ভয়াবহ পরিস্থিতি থেকে আমরা তাড়াতাড়ি বেরিয়ে আসতে পারি, সারা বিশ্ব আগের পরিস্থিতিতে থাকতে পারি। স্টে হোম, স্টে সেফ। থ্যাংক ইউ।
Our next winner at rank 16 is Adobe Inc. Please join me in congratulating the organization.
Every individual that you would meet at Adobe has something unique about them. They have very interesting stories to tell. When you look at the diversity in terms of the places where people are coming from, in terms of their education, in terms of their work experience, Adobe really is like a hub where all these unique people have somehow converged.
At rank 15 we have Marriott Hotels India Private Limited. Please give them a big round of applause.
फिर उसी भीड़ का हिस्सा होंगे, बस सिर्फ कुछ ही दिनों की बात है, माना कि घनी रात है, मगर पूरा भारत एक साथ है।
इन ऊंची ऊंची इमारतों की छोटी छोटी खिड़कियों में सपने बड़े हैं। फिलहाल संभल, जान बचा, सड़कों पर तेरे मेरे रखवाले खड़े हैं। आओ खोल दें अपने घर के दरवाजे, कहीं कुछ दिन बस यही तेरा घर है। माना कि काली घनी रात है, मगर पूरा भारत एक साथ है।
Our next winner at rank 14 is iFinance Private Limited. Please join your hands together for the team. At rank 13, we have Marks and Spencer Reliance India Private Limited. A very big congratulations to the team. Our next awardee at rank 12 is Hilton. Please join me in congratulating the entire organization. At rank 11 we have Godrej Consumer Products Limited. Congratulations, and let's give them a big round of applause. Now for the top 10 of the year, followed by unveiling of the Great Place Research Report, the ET magazine featuring the 100 best, and the Wall of Fame. Let's put our hands together for our winner at rank 10. Mahindra Insurance Brokers Limited. This best workplace recognizes its managers for sharing helpful feedback. They have a quarterly feedback culture where any employee can nominate his or her reporting manager in I Got Helpful Feedback category.
Hello friends, at Mahindra Insurance Brokers Limited, we believe in a very simple philosophy of dream, dare and do. We co-create our dream with the help of our people and we collaborate together as a team to achieve that dream. Great Place to Work comes and helps us to assess independently and objectively and provides us very clear criteria of benchmarks and best practices from the industry on our culture. The culture which we build of high trust and high performance helps us to achieve that dream. So thank you, Great Place to Work, for being a partner in progress.
Moving on to rank 9, we have Sayaji Hotels Limited. This organization partnered with Impact App to launch a unique practice where all employees participating in the event can help raise funds by staying fit. This money is then used to help the society.
Hi, I'm Rauf Danani, Managing Director of Sayaji Hotels Limited. Culture is a backbone of a successful organization. We at Sayaji Parivar nurture talent and support career. Truly humble to be named amongst the best place to work 3 years in a row. Thank you very much.
Our next winner at rank 8 is BMC Software India Private Limited. This organization launched a My Happiness app for all its employees to understand the pulse of its people by employing a 10-second survey at periodic intervals. The rating scale ranges from I am unhappy to I am excited.
At BMC Software, employees always come first. That's also driven by one of our core values of prioritizing people. In India, we are focused on 3 things. First, build great technology. But not only build great technology, but also provide great technology to people to work on. The second is building great careers. Our learning programs, our growth opportunities that we provide both in India and outside are phenomenal. And the third, of having fun at work, which is very, very important, and wellness and focusing on our social responsibility. We are very proud of the culture that we've created. And I would like to thank Great Places to Work for their contribution over the last 5 years, by which we have been able to fine-tune and make our experiences to our employees that much more better, warmer and richer. Thank you very much.
Coming up next at rank 7 is Barbecue Nation Hospitality Limited. This best workplace has a unique initiative called Aaj Ka Prashan, where they send out weekly quiz mailers to all employees on current affairs, general knowledge and movies. At rank 6 we have Cisco Systems India Private Limited. Do we sometimes worry if we leave the organization we might not have an opportunity to come back? Well, this organization has a structured program called Project Athena, which focuses on targeting diverse alumni for potential rehire.
It's an honor to be part of the Great Place to Work list of employers. And I was just wondering, what does it take to make a company great, right? Or a great place to work? And according to me, it kind of boils down to three things, right? People, product, and purpose. And I think best companies typically have the best people. That sounds simple, but this is probably the hardest part and needs the most attention. And most people think this is about finding the greatest talent and recruiting them. Well, it is not. It is about creating a culture of trust. It is about finding ways to match the employee's skills to the organization's needs. It is about allowing employees to make mistakes, figure out things out, to get good at things and solve problems without breaking their spirit and drive. And it's about rewarding and celebrating successes while encouraging their employees to stretch their skills and capabilities. I think on the product side, best companies have employees who take pride in what is produced, created, serviced, or designed. This is the area that continuously changes and is continuously in motion. Hence, this requires everyone on board to be united and to work together as one team to produce an excellent product, provide a valuable service, or create something of great value. Great companies know that challenging work is the best motivator for employees. And finally, purpose, right? Lastly, and probably the most important, great companies believe that what's right for society and for the planet is good for business. This is about having a positive impact on society, on the community, on people who are indirectly impacted or not impacted by the organization. So finally, at Cisco, we ensure that we look at all three of these dimensions and try to balance that to ensure that we can continue to get our shareholders and our stakeholders get the most out of it. Thank you very much.
Our next winner at rank 5 is Bajaj Finance Limited. This organization inspires its employees by sharing their values using storytelling in a play form. The play is centered around 4 of their anchors: hard work and drive, high on ambition, ownership, and execution rigor. Moving on to rank 4, we have Harrison's Malayalam Limited. Pride for this workplace stands for Performance Review for Individual Development Enabler. This tool was developed to ensure that each individual focuses on the vital few goals for the financial year, and it is linked to the overall goal of the organization.
HML has done it again, and this time with a thunder. With a trust score of 93, I believe HML has joined the league of top scorers. Last 6 years has been a very enjoyable and rewarding journey with GPW. We as an organization and our employees has benefited a lot through this successful journey. Great show.
Our next awardee at rank 3 is Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. This best workplace nominates its well-deserving and performing employees for a leadership diversity and development program. In this program, the employees are paired up and one employee is termed as a leader and the other as an aspiring leader.
Ujjivan is a very purpose-driven organization. We find passion and commitment to everyday work that we do, and so do our employees. Our employees who work for us, they really find meaning in their work, and that is the reason why we feel that we have a very committed and motivated bunch of employees. We believe that by catering to the underserved and the unserved segments of the society, we are also doing our part in making sure that we bring about financial inclusion, and that is where our employees find the most amount of happiness when they see a purpose to their day-to-day work, and that's why we believe we continue to be a great place to work. When we participate in the Great Place to Work survey every year, it brings out a lot of things that our employees think about the organization. It gives us a chance to improve. It tells us a lot about the pulse of the organization, and also helps us in taking care of the little shortcomings that we might have had, and it just helps us improve all along.
our next winner at rank 2 is DHL Express India Private Limited. This organization shares a Stay Connected kit to thank the candidates who reached the final round but did not get selected. These goodies help them stay connected with potential candidates who could not make the cut but can be considered for future positions.
Hello everyone. What is the one thing that stands out about DHL Express? For me, it is our people. They have repeatedly demonstrated the DHL attributes of speed, passion, teamwork, and can-do spirit. Our employees are insanely customer-centric and ensure that our customers get a best day every day. Today, DHL has carved out its own space in the industry and is setting new benchmarks. All of this is possible because of our best-in-class people practices, policies that encourage inclusiveness and diversity, a safety-first mindset, performance orientation, and a culture of continuous improvement. I want to express my gratitude to all the superstars of DHL who have voiced their opinion and once again rated us as a great place to work. Thank you.
And now for the number 1 company to work for in the country. Please put your hands together for Intuit India. This organization continues to raise the bar in terms of the richness of experience that it offers to its employees. Their vast portfolio of people programs that are already best in class in terms of their concept and execution are further pushing the envelope by adding more unique and progressive elements.
Hi, it's truly an honor to be recognized as a great place to work. Our true north is our employees, and our endeavor is to create a culture where everybody at Intuit can bring their whole selves to work. And it is the employees who are helping us march towards our mission of powering prosperity around the world based on the AI-driven expert platform that's the foundation of all of our products. And it's the employees who create such resiliency in the entire ecosystem that allows us to be thriving even during this tremendous pandemic. Everybody has been incredibly flexible and creative in ensuring that productivity is still at its best. So thank you so much, a great place to work, for allowing us to have such an amazing experience in creating a culture that's truly actualizing into its mission.
Heartiest congratulations to the top 10 companies to work for in India. Thank you for creating such amazing cultures and inspiring us. It's now time to announce the 15 winners for our trivia powered by TAP Consulting. The winners for question number 1 would be Manav Chhabra, GSC Ericsson India Global Services Private Limited. Garima Pant, Sony Pictures Networks India Private Limited. And Manish Pandey from Barbecue Nation. Winners for the second question would be Somesh Dravid from Mahindra & Mahindra Automotive and Farm Equipment Sectors, Chandra Kumar from Tirumani Finance Private Limited, and Rohit Jindal from Hygienic Research Institute Private Limited. Winners for the third question would be Navneet Trikha from Godfrey Phillips India Limited, Manoj Chaudhary from SC Johnson Product Private Limited, and Ankur Sharma from iFinance Private Limited. Winners for the fourth question would be Amritesh Raj from Tata Communications, Komal Singh from InMobi Group, Carol Furtado from Ujjivan Small Finance Bank. Winners for the fifth question would be Prashant Khullar from Max Life Insurance, Sara D'Souza from Intuit, Sriram Golconda from Control S Data Centers Private Limited. Each of these winners have won an opportunity to conduct a virtual workshop for their team with TAP Consulting. We will be sharing further details with you over email and connect you with the team. Lastly, I would like to thank each one of you for your active participation. I would now like to invite Ms. Preeti Malhotra, Vice President and Partner at Great Place to Work India, to unveil the 3 pearls I mentioned earlier.
What an amazing evening it has been. Congratulations to all the 100 winners tonight. Before we move on to unveil the Great Place to Work Research Report, the ET magazine that will feature the 100 best and the Wall of Fame, let me take a moment to thank everyone who made this evening possible. First and foremost, our sincere thanks to all of you. You are our heroes and you inspire us every day to move forward on our vision of making India a great place to work. Thanks to the 1,000+ organizations that apply to our study. It makes our research richer. Thank you to you and to your teams. Our special thanks to the leaders of best workplaces that had detailed conversations with us and shared with us what makes their culture unique, what inspires their employees, and provided us with valuable nuggets that we can apply in our own organizations. Our next thanks goes to the Fountainhead team, our production partner, without whom we really didn't know how to stitch this evening together for you. Being our first virtual awards, we were getting scores of content from pictures and videos from all of you winners, and we were quite concerned as to how this will all come together. And I think it was only for the Fountainhead team who kind of calmed us down and they said, don't worry, we will make this happen. So thank you, Fountainhead. Next up, our platform partner Dreamcast that enabled us to really livecast this event for you. One more benefit of doing the awards virtually was that we had no boundaries and anyone sitting in any corner of the world could actually join in for the first time. So we had thousands of people log in from multiple countries to celebrate the 100 best in India. So thank you to each one of you who took out time and joined us tonight. Our trivia partner, TAP Consulting, thank you once again. And of course, our long-term media partner, The Economic Times. It has been a splendid partnership that we've had. This is our 13th year and I think our teams just work so well together. It is almost like an extension of the Great Place to Work team. Thank you so much for really working along with us and making this evening happen. And even among their team, the editorial team sits out of Delhi and very often they have missed some of our previous awards. And what we do is after we unveil the report, we always kind of send them a picture and say, sorry, we missed you. And this time they are here today, logged in and watching as we unveil in the next couple of minutes. So thank you to the whole ET team. Last but not the least, the Great Place to Work team, Greaters as we call them, who worked behind the scenes to bring this evening for all of us. Thank you once again to all of you. Take care and stay safe. And now for the grand finale, can we have the unveiling of the research report, the ET magazine and the Wall of Fame, please? Thank you.